Hey, Chad, how's it going?
It's going okay.
I like your
It's
friends
going
behind
okay.
you,
Yeah, they
your
work for cheap.
minions,
They work
the
cheap.
the original minions.
That's right.
So anyway, today we're talking about remakes and reboots of movies, I guess. Did you have any
Yes.
TV shows on your list?
So, they've been making remakes for ages. They've been converting British shows into American shows. Three's Company.
Too Close for Comfort, I think, was that 10 Night Show was
That's right.
another one.
That's
Was
right.
taken from British shows.
The Office.
Right. Most famously, probably The Office.
And yeah, and well, there was a series on TMN or HBO, Showtime, one of those, starring Matt LeBlanc called Episodes.
All
And
right.
the premise of Episodes was about two British writers, a husband and wife team who come from Britain, who are brought over from Britain because they had a hit show there, and an American production company wanted to make an American version of it. And
Right.
it took their original show took place in a private school, and it was, you know, like, I guess probably like an EastEnders kind of, show,
Right. Yep.
soap opera ish, and it got turned into a comedy about a hockey team, you know, with Matt LeBlanc as the coach. And so,
And
like,
they were
that's,
just probably they were looking on in dread, these British people, like as they get bastardized their work.
but I feel that today we're living at a time where that's all they want to do.
Right.
There's nothing new. You can't invent something new. Every once in a while something is a little new, like Game of Thrones was. And
Yep.
people just, the church of Game of Thrones now,
Right.
because it was like, oh my God, a new idea in the 21st century.
Right. Well, the thing is, TV shows are probably the same way, but when it comes to films, right now, the average cost of making a film is probably about $100 million. That's average, right? So it's super expensive to make a film. And so nobody from the production companies to the studios really want to spend that kind of money on something that's not a proven quantity, right?
So I was looking through a list of some of the things that are being remade. And
Yeah, let's hear the
this is what I mean.
travesty. Let's hear the travesty of remakes that's going to be happening.
So American Werewolf in London.
Right.
An American Werewolf in London is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And
Of its time, one of those movies that's of its time, right?
it's of its time, but there is so I'm a big fan of Nicholas Roeg films. And An American Werewolf in London has that kind of feel to it. There's a
Right.
desolation and
It's
a
almost
loneliness.
it has a kind of a French feel to it, right? Like
Yeah, it's very European,
yeah,
even though he's in London, so you say it's very British.
yeah,
Uh,
but it's
but
kind of not really.
it's airy, like there's
Yeah.
there's a loneliness when Jack is in the apartment, when the nurse has gone to work and he's killing time and he's flipping through a book and he's going crazy and they're playing Bad Moon Rising. Like, that's one of the greatest scenes ever.
Right.
So and they made a sequel, An American Werewolf in Paris,
Yep.
which was garbage. So why do they think they're going to be able to we're going to try it again? You throw enough shit at the wall, some of it's going to stick.
Yeah, like you said, there's a tone that they will never replicate that.
No.
Right. They wouldn't dare. Like I said, what's that going to cost to make? Probably $150 million at least. Right.
Yeah.
And there's a desolate tone. They won't ever do that. Nobody would touch that with a 10-foot pole. Right.
No, it's going to star Justin Bieber. Oh yeah, they're remaking Dirty Dancing.
Nice.
Another great movie. It's a great movie.
Oh my God,
Dirty
of its
Dancing,
time.
and because it's a period pieces stand up. You can keep watching a period piece.
Right. Like Grease.
Like Grease. They're remaking Drop Dead Fred. All they had to do was re-release the original because nobody could find it, I'm sure. I think I have a copy kicking around because I love that movie.
That's great. Rick Mayall.
And back to British shows, right?
Yeah.
Like, why was it great? It wasn't because of Phoebe Cates, wasn't it? Phoebe Cates, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was it Phoebe Cates?
It was Phoebe Cates, yeah.
But Rick Mayall, that's his show.
Exactly.
He was so good.
Yeah.
And get this one, Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Like, my fucking head's gonna explode.
These just make it into Aliens, right? Instead of what it was at the time, which is amazing. Like all of Verhoeven's films are this amazing satire, and he straight faces it.
3 or 4 sequels have been made already of Starship Troopers, every one of them garbage. So why remake the first one? Like, that was so good. It still stands up. There's nothing bad about that movie.
Yeah. That's amazing.
War Games is coming back.
Yeah, they've been threatening that a lot of times. They made a sequel called The Dead Code, which is dead to me because it's fucking so terrible. God damn.
Here's a deadly one. Time Bandits.
Oh my God, you're killing me, Chad. You're peeling slices of my life away.
Is
on
that
this fucking list?
How do you
Time Bandits? What
are
you gonna fucking do with Time Bandits? What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Like,
damn. Well, they'll announce it, and then Peter Dinklage will complain about it, or that they're gonna have little people in it. How dare you employ little people in Hollywood?
Now they're all giants. They're all
because
giants.
I'm not speaking about remakes. I'm talking about Snow White. They're gonna do Snow White, and Peter Dinklage was complaining about it. And some other little person actor was like, "Shut the fuck up." Hire me, Disney. I am available. Hire me to be a little person in this movie.
Dinklage was, but if in all fairness, he was upset because he didn't know how he was going to be 7 characters in one film. Here's another one. Are you sitting down?
Oh my God.
The Birds.
Is it a shot for shot, fucking just reshooting of it like fucking Psycho?
Yeah, maybe. Except now they're flying lizards. I don't know. It's just
like Jurassic Park meets Alfred Hitchcock.
Exactly.
Nice.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right.
There's no way to make it modern and not stupid.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That typifies all of this. There's no way to make it modern and not stupid.
Here's another one that is going to just make me fucking scream. Escape from New York. Escape from New York is coming back, and it's like, again, one of the best. Kurt Russell at his very coolest, Snake Plissken. But yeah, Escape from New York was great. And then what did they do? Hey, let's try it again. And they made Escape from LA, which was garbage.
Yep.
So now they're going to revisit the first movie again.
Oh my God.
Okay, this one's going to kill you. It's really going to kill you. Heavy Metal. They're going to remake Heavy Metal. It's now going to be animated by Pixar. It's going to have voices of, I don't know, Ricky Gervais.
Pixar Heavy Metal. It's a nightmare scenario. God damn.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Why? It's a cartoon that, again, is very of its time.
Yeah.
There are breasts in it all the way through. And
like, is Heavy Metal the magazine still on the magazine rack where you can get it? No,
probably.
The time of like erotica art being sold mainstream is like, but was on the way out the door.
Well, young boys don't need things that are kind of like pornography to look at when they can see real pornography.
Right, everywhere on the internet. That's right.
Also coming is Highlander, another one of my favorites. The first movie was great, and again, they made a sequel, and it was garbage. So
I think they've done about 12 Highlanders,
probably.
haven't they?
Yeah, Highlanders, the fast food years.
Highlander, Electric Boogaloo.
Little Shop of Horrors, because that was made twice already, and the second one by Frank Oz. Now there's 2 versions of the sequel, because Frank Oz, there's a director's cut and there's a non-regular release. Right. And I saw it in the theater, and I love that movie. But then I bought a copy. Not real. I just thought director's cut didn't mean anything. I just thought, it usually means extended scenes or whatever. Right. When my kids were young, we watched it and we loved it until the end. The end is a tragedy. The director's cut has a tragic ending where the plants do take over the world. Right. Anyway, they don't need to remake that. Videodrome.
What Canadian the fuck?
Content. Yeah, Videodrome, a remake of David Cronenberg's 1983 horror thriller about a TV channel executive whose new show, with its graphic depiction of torture and murder, attracts huge ratings.
Which will not be in the remake.
Yeah, well, it won't be. Weird Science.
Right.
Now I just rewatched Weird Science. I liked it a lot as a kid. It was fun to watch it. It kind of stands up as a comedy. It's really inappropriate by today's standards. Right. I'm surprised that Netflix even airs it. It has it on there. Toxic Avenger. It's This one here is interesting. Gremlins 3.
Wow.
So,
They're bringing back Phoebe Cates and the dude that was in it. Can't remember his name. The thing I think what's going on here is what they're doing is they're looking at classic, not even classic movies like 80s, like look at Gremlins, right? And they say nowadays we have CGI technology, so we can do such a much better version of the Gremlins. They can dance around and they can move around and they don't look like puppets. So we can do that. And tick any of these movies you're saying that Little Shop of Horrors, right? You had just a prosthetic Audrey, right?
Yeah.
So we can do it in CGI and her tentacles can go everywhere. And she pulls herself out of the pot and she's moving around. We can do so much more with CGI. They don't understand it's the story, right? If you just gussy up the CGI and then have some stupid, lame story, it's not an improvement. You're not making anything new, really.
Well, especially since the argument saying let's get away from puppets. Look at the Star Wars franchise, right? Yoda was a puppet and he was great. And then when Yoda became a CGI character, he was terrible.
That's
and then they brought him back as a puppet and he was great again.
That's right.
Because a puppet, even though it's a puppet, it's still real. It's a real thing.
Yep.
They're going to remake All of Me, Steve Martin, Lily Tomlin film, which is another great, but I could see that being remade with the idea. It's kind of a stupid idea.
Yeah, but you won't have Steve Martin and you won't have Lily Tomlin.
And you won't have an Indian guy going back and ball, because that just won't fly. Police Academy, how about that?
Oh my God.
Like,
why? All I say is why.
It's now a drama. And
Police Academy.
It's
down now.
It claims to be the 8th installment. So maybe it's just they're all going to just be.
Who the hell is going to be in it? Paul Rudd?
No. Well, what's his
name?
Steve
Steve Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg's still around.
Yeah. He'd be the guy. Yeah, he'd be the dean of the academy, right?
But now in the modern age, he's not getting a blowjob and behind the podium, right? Nightmare on Elm Street, they remade that one a few years ago, and it had nothing. It was like so empty. It was very
like the thing is, what can you do? Unless you're doing, like we talked about Psycho, a shot for shot remake for whatever reason itself doesn't make any sense. But if you're going to like remake Nightmare on Elm Street, what are you going to do? You can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
So you're going to do something else and it's never going to be as good. Like very little do they do something better, right? Some really big brain figures out, like how can we tell the story in a different way that's as good? And it's just that is a formula that is very tenuous.
Well, it's like the Stones sang the song. It's the singer, not the song. And
right. Yep.
When it comes to Elm Street, it's the singer, not the song. It doesn't really fucking matter what they do if they don't have Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Because he is Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. What is that actor?
Never get any other work.
Yeah. And what is that actor going to do? Who's going to be Freddy? What can he do? Like
he impersonates Robert Englund.
He's just going to he either impersonates Robert Englund, but a wisecracking guy who won't be as good, or he'll just be a straight stone cold killer who hardly says anything, and that's not Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, and they cast Ron Howard's brother.
Clint Howard?
Clint Howard. I was going to say Curly Howard.
Curly. Hey Mo.
I'm gonna fuck up your dreams.
She turns around and goes.
He's like 1, 2, boink.
Maybe make it in 3D.
That's right. They're remaking Big Trouble in Little China. So I guess they're trying
That's
to.
it. You broke me, Chad.
What
the hell? Oh my God, Big Trouble in Little China. Like it's a comedy that works brilliantly, and it's a brilliant action film. It's a brilliant Kurt Russell film. It's a little Fabergé egg, very intricately made that you move one part, it just all falls apart. They're going to fucking replicate that.
It's hokey. And when things are a bit hokey, there's nothing you can't replicate it. I just no. On this list,
exactly. It's camp, right? Camp works. It's amazing, but to replicate camp and not look stupid. That is a fine line, Chad. That is the finest of lines.
Yeah, Trauma Pictures, they can keep replicating camp because they
Right.
live and breathe it. They don't know
for
what
sure.
is it, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
And so, but that's not, it's going to be like a fucking Ron Howard is directs, it's Ron Howard, Big Trouble in Little China.
Wacky. Ron Howard. Oh my God, Chad. Oh, you're shaving years off my life.
Memento.
Wow. Remake that.
Now they're going to make it, it'll just be a linear story.
Yeah. I'll start from the beginning and just go to the end.
It's going to be a guy who wakes up one day, has a day, and then kills somebody at the end.
Hey.
Sometimes the remakes, like I watched the Murder on the Orient Express.
Right.
Did I watch that? Yeah.
What do you think of that? Daisy Ridley and
yeah, it was a really mediocre movie.
Kenneth Branagh was Hercule Poirot.
That's right.
And
so he's also playing Poirot in
well, they did Murder on the Nile, isn't that someone?
Yeah, that's the one that just came out. And so Branagh is playing him again.
Okay.
It was okay, but it's funny. You watch Knives Out.
Yeah, exactly.
It was way better.
That is Agatha Christie, but amazingly done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like, let's not get hung up on just
let's make something new, right? And when you make something new, you've got more energy, you've got way more interest. You can put your own stamp on what you're doing. You're not having to be beholden to Agatha Christie or the Agatha Christie estate. You can do what you want to do and do it in the homage, of course, and everyone will see the homage, right? But you're doing your own thing, and then you've got Knives Out, which is a classic. But anyway, that'll wrap it up for our remakes and reboots list of terrible cinematic travesties that are going to be visited upon the unsuspecting movie public.
That's right. It's kind of like this podcast, re-envisioning.
Yeah, exactly. What are we complaining about remakes for? We're remaking Nerd Stocking.
It's completely new. It's completely new now with faces.
But anyway, thanks for watching. Everybody, just please like and subscribe, and you can get in touch with us through YouTube, and you can let us know what you think of our content. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.